in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little John, and I'm about to do a quick taste test on the wedding day Imperial Porter. Now this is the beer I've done as presents for all the guests at my son's wedding, which is next weekend. There was a video on this, which will be, I'll put a link to up here in the top. The Imperial Porter was done as a combo brew between the Robo Brew and my normal 3V system. I did a standard sort of a mash with base grain through the Robo Brew, and then use that mash and use that wort to mash into the mash tun on the 3V to get the volume I needed. Needed to bottle 24 litres of this, so I did 28 litres, I think it was by memory, into the fermenter, which I couldn't knock out in the Robo Brew or on my system. So the link's there, you can go back and have a look at the recipe. But vital numbers on this one are original gravity was 1084, finished at 1018, so 8.9% in the bottle. I was aiming for 9%. I've labelled the bottles as 9%, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's not too bad. So as I said, yes, Imperial Porter, not an Imperial Stout. I didn't want to go full on with the roast in this one. I wanted to just be a little bit restrained, as much as you can be, I suppose, with an Imperial. But you know, most of the guests, pretty much everybody, all the guests are just, you know, normal beer drinkers. They're not crafties. They're not, you know, they're not into drinking the unusual sort of beers. So I thought pushing a stout was really going to push it. Imperial Porter, you know, let's keep it back and restrain just a little bit. Recommending to the guests that they hold on to this bottle for 12 months, and we'll sort of be recommending, you know, pull it out in 12 months time from the wedding and celebrate the first anniversary of my son and his wife. So this was bottled on the 15th of July, so it's, you know, a week short of being 2 months old, so about 8 weeks old. Now I only dropped just over half a cup drop into each bottle, just to hold back a bit on the carbonation, knowing they're going to be held for 12 months. So from that point of view, I'm not expecting this to have a massive amount of carbonation at the moment. There's a good little bit of fizz there. This has been in the cupboard until yesterday. I only stuck it in the fridge yesterday, so it hasn't had a lot of cooling. But yeah, let's give her a pour and see how she looks. Now, pretty much non-existent head, and that's not really surprising. There's a large amount of oats in this, a good whack of chocolate, and a whack of vanilla extract. So there's enough there to sort of knock out any head retention. But again, yeah, it's going to sit in the bottle for 12 months before it sort of comes out anyway. And that, so I'm expecting that carb level to come up a little bit. It smells pretty much as you'd expect. It's quite rich. A little bit of chocolate note, a little bit of vanilla there. just light hints of some roast. And as I said, there's not, there's a little bit of black and a little dark crystal, but no actual roast in here to give it too much depth. I haven't got my IBU on here, or do I? Yeah. Let's see. It was. No, it doesn't seem to. Oh, here we go. Winning. About 66 IBUs. With a good combination of upfront bitterness and a good whack of flavour hops put through. So. Oh, that is rich. Oh, it's a bloody lot going on in that, I tell you. Nice little bit of gas there on the tongue. It's actually come out a bit darker than I thought it would. There's a nice little crimson edges around it, and it's. I imagine we've got a bit of light behind that, and you would actually get to see through it. Around the edges here, it's quite open. It is quite clear. There's a nice, lovely crimson red tinge to it. But oh, gee, there's a lot going on there. There's a fairly heavy amount of sweetness. It's not a sickly sweet. It's coming from that. There's a heavy presence of the chocolate in there. There's 500 gram of dark chocolate malt in there. Again, it's dark crystal particularly, I think is pushing it a lot. And there's probably quite a bit of sweetness too. There's a kilo of dark dry malt as well in there. So, and obviously, 1018 final gravity is going to have some residual, sweetness. It's big bodied. Just a touch of really sugary sweet, right on, just on the lips, just on the end, and that's it's the only place I'm getting it. It's just on the lips itself. And there's a nice bit of coffee in there. No, you can't really taste the alcohol for 9%. There's no alcohol burn there at all. There's no bite from the alcohol. The bitterness is quite restrained. It's there. No, so now 66 IBU, that's 170 grams of hops. There's 100 gram of Willamette at 15 minutes. And it's there, but it's just really just supporting us, sort of, it's just cuddling up with the depth of those malts. It's smooth. And that's probably, again, the oats. There's a good lot of oats in there, and I think that's really evident in that smoothness. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. So possibly a little bit sweeter than I would prefer. But again, I think that sweetness will settle. Give it another 12 months, and I think that will come down a little bit. I think that sweetness will get taken up a little bit. but it's not, it's not over the top, and it's not detracting. Everything's quite nice. But as I say, if I was, to be super critical and look, okay, if I'm going to remake this, what am I going to change? I'd be looking at just cutting that sweetness down a little bit. And there's probably several places you can, like I said, the dark dry malt, could be contributing quite a bit of the over sweetness. The dark crystals, could have been dropped back to a medium, or even pale, would possibly help with that a little bit. Or alternatively, you could throw, like I said, you could throw a bit of roast in there to counteract the sweetness and go against it and cut through it, and take it, to that, really to the stout side, where it's probably expected to be. So it would depend on which way you want to take it. If you want to leave it as the porter, I'd be looking to pull down the sweetness a little bit. And if you wanted to take, and as I said, if you want to take it towards the stout, get some roast in there, and counteract that sweetness. That certainly wouldn't take much either way to make those little adjustments. But main thing, if someone who's going to open this who is not a big beer drinker, is it going to freak them out? Is it? Are they going to go? Not be able to drink it? And I think really the answer is sort of no. I think even someone who's not particularly a stout drinker or a dark beer drinker could probably drink that without too much trouble. And again, as it's warming, as this has come out of the fridge, it's cold. As it's warming a little bit, as any stout does, the roastiness is coming up a little bit. So I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit of warmth into that, just to take the cold edge off it. So just on that mouthful there, just that last sip, a little bit of the roast bit on this, it's starting to show a bit more. Like I said, there's a lot of brown in there. So there's a good whack of black malt. There's enough there to give it some edge, and even allow the hops to come through. Late additions of Cascade and Mosaic, just to let that little bit of fruit edge come. As I said, so it's and again, just looking here, this is brewed with the Y yeast 3787, the high gravity Trappist yeast. I remember, I think I've mentioned during the video that this was a yeast that I got a beer in a case swap, done through AussieHomeBrewer.com. A couple of years back, and someone had done a stout. It wasn't an Imperial. It was quite a big stout, but it wasn't an Imperial. And they'd used the 3787, and the finish was, I remember, just was fantastic. Didn't have the typical alcoholic, fuely bite of a Belgian, and this is actually really showing those same sort of characteristics, which is why I particularly wanted to use that yeast, and I've been wanting to use it since I tried it. And this is the first chance I really had. So from the yeast perspective, it's a bloody good yeast. If you want to make a really clean stout or a porter, with just a little bit extra character underneath it, give that Trappist high gravity a go. As I said, Y is 3787. It really does a great job, and I think it's playing a big part in this. It's just starting to warm a little bit, it's getting a little bit of the edge off it. Yeah. Now the hops are starting to get a little bit more involved as it's warming up. And it's bringing that extra layer onto the back end. Just that nice little bit of grass from the cascade, a little bit of little fruit from the mosaic, really going along nicely. It's toning, and that's toning down that sweetness a little. Yeah. There's a little bit more edge to it as the hops are coming up with the warmth. Does cut that sweet edge off just a little bit. So yeah, as I say, it's generally you want to be having your dark beers a little bit warmer. I'm not a fan of cellar temp, never have been. I think cellar temp's too warm, for me personally anyway. I like somewhere between fridge temp and cellar temp. I think hops get just all too astringent at those higher temps, and you lose that smoothness of your malts. But even there, as that's warming, that the head and the gas and the lacing's just coming up a little bit. So I think had I let that sit out for 20 minutes before I poured it, would have been a completely different looking beer in the glass. But that's bloody good. I don't like ever to say that I've made a bad beer, but I've made some bad beers, and I'm quite happy to judge realistically. But I'm really happy with this, and hopefully I can wrangle a few bottles. I've got 72 bottles ready for the wedding. I'm thinking we're probably only going to need about 50, so I might end up with a whack to stick away and get me over the next couple of months, because I've got no other. I've only got a couple of bottles of stout in there otherwise, so I'll happily drink a bottle of that every so often. No problem at all. So, if you got any questions or anything clarified on the process of this brew, I said it was unusual, it was different, it was a little bit fiddly. It was a big day. Questions, stick them down the bottom. So go back and watch the video, see the process. If you are looking at doing big beers with the Robo Brew, they can be done. It's just a little bit of playing around. If you haven't subscribed to Little John yet, hit the button down there, because this is the sort of craziness we do sometimes, and the things we play around with, all different styles, how to do them, different ways of brewing. You've never made yourself an Imperial Porter or an Imperial Stout? Have a crack at one. They're not bad going. Righto, anyway. So that's me for the day, that's Little John. Wedding day, Russian Imperial Porter from a young bloke and Davey's wedding. Hope he enjoys. Until I see you folks again and we talk and we're brewing beer or We're drinking beer, good brewing.